Hello, you guys. I am going to talk about the things that I learned from the men in my life. I think that men are fantastic teachers, honestly. I think that we can learn a lot from relationships. And today, I think that it will be good to talk about the things that I have learned from the men in my life. Honestly, I know that we would like to think that we didn't learn anything from the men in our lives, and it was completely their fault that, we broke up with them or they broke up with us. They can't handle us, they can't handle a real woman, or, they were just useless, or, they just were not good. But realistically, we need to be honest with ourselves and learn from every situation in our lives, and just be honest about the breakups, because that's how we learn, that's how we learn in every situation. So today, that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about my experience, and hopefully this will help some of you ladies to be honest with yourselves and think about the things that you have learned from your breakups and the men in your lives. So I'm going to start with the current man that I have in my life and just take it back. So only the men that I learned something from, which anyway, the current man I have in my life taught me patience. Okay. He's always saying, trust the process. Trust the process. I am doing things in my life that I never thought I was capable of doing. He really taught me patience. And I kind of learned patience from every man in my life. I can't say if they are the right man, because the patience really comes from just waiting on the right man. So that kind of comes from you as well, because as you know, it can be very trying waiting on that right one to come in your life. So you kind of learn patience from every man in your life. Every situation in your life really teaches you to have patience. But so number one, I learned patience. But one of the things that he always says is trust the process. Me coming up and being raised as an only child, I didn't really have a lot of patience. I didn't really trust the process. I wanted things right now. I am Generation X. There are millennials now. But I was Generation X, okay? My daughter's Generation Y. And today there are millennials. We just wanted things right now, just the microwave age. The microwave age, we want it fast. We want it yesterday, and patience was not a virtue with me, because again, I was raised as an only child and I was spoiled. I wasn't a selfish kind of spoiled. I was very generous. I am thoughtful, thoughtful and generous, both of them. And I'm not just, tooting my own horn. I really am. Like today, I give to the homeless. I think about other people. The job that I'm doing right now, I don't have to do it. I do have a degree, but I do it anyway because of the world today. I won't elaborate. I don't like people in my business like that, and I don't do it to show off, so I'm not going to say what I'm doing. But anyway, moving on. So patience is what I've learned the most from the guy that I'm with today. Again, I'm doing things that I just never thought that I would be able to do. I'm learning to trust the process. And I think that is very important. It's just important to understand that, especially if you believe in God. Understand that, what you're looking to do will happen. There's a reason why you're doing it. He's always saying, don't complain about it, just do it. You believe in God, pray, and just do it. And I have implemented that advice, and it works out every time. That's my surgery, that's just everything, my move, everything in my life. fasting, anything that I want, a job. Men are they're decisive. Women are naturally indecisive, usually, not every woman, but we can't make decisions. We can't decide on something. Men are decisive. They say it, they mean it, they do it, So that is just something that I have learned from him. Okay, so going back, the narcissist. Yes, I learned something from the narcissist. Okay. I learned to be punctual. Okay. I learned to be strong. I had to be strong because he was so narcissistic. He taught me strength. He taught me to be independent. He taught me not to depend on anyone. And he did teach me punctuality. He did help me to understand that it's disrespectful to be late. He was very narcissistic. He was malignant. Malignant means dangerous. And he did hurt me very bad. I already told that story. You can go back and earlier this year and hear all about that story. It's part 1, 2, and 3, I believe. So anyway, but he did teach me a few things. I did learn from him. So, it was a lesson. You learn things from crazy people, good or bad. You learn from your situations. So before the narcissist, I was in a relationship with another Andre. Andre was my husband, and he was before this guy. Andre was my longest relationship. A short period of time, I was in a quick little relationship with another Andre, and that Andre was crazier than a bedbug. Yes, he was. I learned to have boundaries. Okay. I was in that relationship right after my marriage for a short period of time, and I was really just moving. I wasn't really trying to, I was really just trying to make my husband jealous, honestly. That's it. And I didn't have the boundaries that I should have had. I didn't understand. I was just out of a 22-year marriage, and I didn't understand that I needed boundaries. I didn't understand what boundaries were. I didn't understand what boundaries were until after I was with the narcissist, and I learned about narcissism, sociopaths, psychopaths. They're all cousins. They're all related, and they all behave similarly in certain ways. So you learn about those toxic people and those traits that they have, and you learn to have those boundaries. So I didn't know anything about that, and from him I learned that you need to have boundaries. You cannot be in a relationship without boundaries, because people will take advantage of you and your kindness and your weaknesses. You have to set boundaries, and you have to make those people understand that, look, this is what I will do and what I won't do, and this is what we can do and what we cannot do. It's okay to do things alone and have things that your partner does not know about, because that actually protects you. You don't want to have secrets. Don't get me wrong. Don't move through your relationship with secrets. You should be able to share most of yourself with your partner, but it's okay to have some secrets. It's okay to have some boundaries. It's okay to keep some things to yourself, in my opinion. So I learned that. And from my husband, taking it back, he was my ex-husband. He was my first relationship, and to this day, my only husband that I actually married. His name is Andre. Most of you probably know him, Dr. Dre. We grew up basically together. We were in a relationship for about 8-9 years, and then we were married. Total was about 22 years. I learned a lot from him. He's actually a really good friend of mine to this day. He knows me like nobody else. You know, there are reasons why he knows me better than my current relationship, but that won't continue that way forever. It's just that we were together longer, and my current relationship hasn't had the opportunity to advance the way my marriage did. But I learned so much from him. I really did. We do have 2 children together, and this is what I mean by, we've advanced. I don't have any, children right now, babies. What I learned from Andre is, number one, he was cheap as hell. He's not this cheap now. I would call him frugal now. Andre was really, really good with money. Okay. He used to say things to me that used to get on my last nerve. Okay. I really hated them, but they were good guidelines and rules and things to live by. Okay. Things that, I should have took heed to at the time, but I didn't. Later on in life, after we separated, I did take heed to them. I remembered them. I just put them on the shelf at the time he was saying them. Little things like always keep cash on you so that you don't spend the money in your account, pay your bills, but you don't have to pay like all of your bills all the time. Only do that every once in a while, but make sure that you stay on top of them, because if you ever need that, that leadway a little bit later, you'll have it, stay on top of those bills though. And, just all kinds of little things that he would teach me, go to the grocery store. Don't continuously go to the store and pick up this little stuff and that little stuff, and just go grocery shopping and cook. I was young, so I would go and I would just stuff that wasn't smart. I was 5 years younger than him, 4 and some change really. So there were things that he was trying to teach me, as a young buck, his younger girlfriend or wife, and I really didn't understand the value of it at that time. Here he is, 19 years old, my daughter. This is our first child, and his brother Terrell. This was, very long time ago. My daughter is 29 years old. But that is the end of that. There were a lot of things that I can say that Andre taught me back in the day, and I did finally take advantage of those things and listen to them. I took them off the shelf after putting on the shelf for a few years, and they actually helped me to advance later on when we separated. I bought a car. I was able to go to school and just live life comfortably by finally listening. So again, there are things that we can learn from men. I know that we think that we are smarter than men, and normally we are. We just are. No, I'm joking, of course, but we need to understand that men are in our life for a reason, just like God gave men us for a reason. They're there as well for a reason, and there are things that we can learn from each other. We need to learn to work together, not always, be in combat with each other, male versus female, because that's not what God created us for. He created us to work together, and we can definitely learn things from each other. I think that the most important lesson is, honestly, and I know ladies, you're not going to want to hear this, but the man is the head of the household. And he was made the head of the household for a reason. We are there as a helpmate. We are there to help him, and that's not an inferior role. It's actually a very, very good role, and it's very, very helpful and useful. So don't feel like, we have a lesser role, or, we were made to be less than. And men, same thing with you. Please don't think that we are less than, or we need to be, talked down to or made to feel less than, because it's not true. You guys take care and treat each other with love and respect, All right, you guys.